Next up, we have Frank calling from New York City. Hey, Frank, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
Thanks for calling. How can we help?
I just have a question about college savings. I follow Dave Ramsey Solutions, and I'm right now at step five, basically, where I want to put money into college savings for my two kids. Now, my only problem is that I looked at the past 12-month performances of these of the 529 plan options. They don't look so good. Can you guys provide some sort of like alternative solutions to college savings, or if not, or if you guys really more gung ho on the 529, can you provide everybody some sort of like a confidence thing? Because I don't see any confidence in these options, and I'm sure I'm not the only one.
Yeah, well, we typically recommend that you start with an education savings account because they do have more flexibility in how you invest your money. So it's similar to a Roth IRA. It's funded with post-tax dollars. And that's just a really great way to start. The challenge with that is that it's got a $2,000 a year limit, and it does have some income limits. So $220,000 if you're married, $110,000 if you're single. So if you do qualify, though, that's a great place to start because you do have more flexible investment options. And then from there, we recommend going to the 529. Are you familiar with ESAs?
Uh, yes, I'm familiar with both ESA and 529. It's just that, like I said, I'm looking at all these performances
Well,
doing not so
are you
good.
looking at like the past year or two performance?
Yeah, the past 12 months, yes.
Well, if that's look at your 401k, it's going to have a very similar sad result. It's been a real down market for a period of time now. So I wouldn't let that hold you back from investing because we look at this as a long-term play. So when are you going to need this
Okay.
money for college?
Oh, my two kids are 7 and 4 right now. So probably in like another 10 to 13 years, give or take. And with that being said, I have a follow-up question, if you don't mind, is how do I put money into so what I mean by this is, should I put a lump sum into the ESA or to the 529, or should I spread it into monthly installments into the account?
I mean, do you have a chunk of money right now that you're wanting to invest in one of the options?
Well, to be honest, I do have roughly around 10K right now. Now, I was thinking about doing half, each of them gets half. But like I said, I'm trying to see if I should put it into lump sum, like put it all in one shot, or should I spread it?
I mean, I think that's more of a personal preference. I think if you do a lump sum, it's still good to have a consistent monthly amount that you're doing over time. Because it is easy and tempting to do that 5,000 up front and then kind of forget about it, and then you get in panic mode in high school. So I think it's really about your discipline and being able to consistently invest over time.
Yeah, the lump sum will allow more time for that lump money to grow. The other side is what we call dollar cost averaging, where you're just putting a consistent amount of money in every single month. And that's also a tried and true strategy. And really, what you're trying to do there, we can't time the market. We never recommend that. It's all about time in the market. And so either way is great. And Dave Ramsey would say, hey, if you got the money, go ahead and just put the lump sum in and forget about it. But if that's something where it's a budget line item for you, you can just invest a portion of that every single month over 12 months. So you can't go wrong. The fact that you're even asking these questions tells me these kids are going to go to school debt-free, but do not jump off of the roller coaster. Right now, we're in the middle of the ride, and it's the not fun part of the ride, but give it a year, give it 2 years, give it 5 years, 10 years, like you mentioned, and you're going to see that money grow way more than it would have in a savings account. So that's the key.
Well, and so that's the financial side of things. But with a 7 and a 4-year-old, the other thing is to really invest in their education right now and in their mindset about college. So, teaching them about scholarships. I know it seems kind of silly, it's early on, but even just starting to talk about college, starting to talk about extracurricular activities and getting them involved early on can be helpful. I talk to a lot of parents who, have juniors and seniors in high school, and they're like, how do we motivate our kids to do stuff? All they want to do is sit around and play video games. And a lot of times I ask them, I'm like, well, have they been involved in activities before now? And they're like, no, they haven't really had a lot of discipline. So it's hard for them to make that big shift and pivot to now being like, Well, now we want them to win scholarships, so they need to build a resume and they need to do all these things that they haven't been doing over time.
Oh,
But
absolutely.
it's like get your kids active early on, start volunteering as a family and get them thinking about, the future. It doesn't need to be some crazy high pressure over the top extra thing, but just get their mindset, thinking about their future early on in a way that's fun and gets them just excited.
And if this is something that gives you some worry at night, get in touch with one of our SmartVestor pros at RamseySolutions.com. They can walk you through all of the options with ESAs, 529s, and give you some hope and confidence in that future.